Hi there, algebra students. Today we will be talking about how to write expressions. We'll be doing it both from like a math sentence and from maybe some real life situations. This has always been a challenging lesson, especially for students whose first language maybe isn't English. It can be real tricky because you're already trying to translate words from English into your first language, and now is like math or algebra is its own language in and of itself. So you're doing multiple pieces of translating, and that can be really challenging. So I think probably just easiest to kind of directly tell you what some of these things mean. And so to start off with, we've got our four operations here: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And here are some, but not all, of the words that mean the same thing as addition. Sum, combine, more than, I guess plus would be another word. And these things all indicate addition. Let's see, when it comes to subtraction, difference, less than, less. Less than and less they kind of sound the same, but less than and less you wind up doing very different things. Decreased or decreased by is another one. When it comes to multiplication, product is the result of multiplication. Of is kind of a weird word that also always implies multiplication. And times, of course. And then when it comes to division, the result of division is quotient. So when you see quotient, you should be thinking of divide. And same with per. If like liters per mile or something like that. Well, that's liters divided by miles. One other word here that didn't make it on there is quantity. And so if you saw something that said the quantity, well, that implies that the following things are going to be in parentheses. So be on the lookout for that, and just know that this does tend to be a little bit more difficult when you have to translate. Okay, so example 1, translate the phrase into an expression. Well, here it says 8 times the quantity 4 plus a number n. Well, this whole thing, 8 times the quantity. Well, we learned from before that quantity means we're putting the next stuff into parentheses. And also remember that if we're doing multiplication, we don't have to have any operation. We don't need to write the times symbol if there's nothing in between. That's just implied multiplication. So we have 8 times the quantity, parentheses, and then inside the parentheses we want 4 plus added to a number n. All right, next, 12 decreased by a number. Well, in this case, we have 12 decreased. That's one of our code word for subtraction. And then a number, we don't know what that number is, so we'll just use x. All right, here we've got the quotient, so our mind should automatically be thinking divide, of the square of a number w. Okay, so when we square a number, that's like taking it to the second power. You remember that from our first lesson in this chapter. So the square of a number w and 5. So here we have one thing, that's the numerator, and then the other thing would be the denominator. All right, to finish this off, you can see I had to put this in my own handwriting. Yours probably looks different, so if you can just maybe erase those or just write over the top. Here we are going to write expressions for real life situations. So we've got the length of a building is 20 meters more than its width. Write an expression for its length. Okay, so we haven't gotten to equations yet. We'll do that in lesson 4. But think of this as like saying, all right, here is the length, and what do I want that to be? Well, I want the length to be 20 more than, so more than would imply addition, the width. And so I'll say W stands for the width, and I want 20 more than that, so I'm going to add 20 to it. So W plus 20. Whenever you introduce variables, make sure that you are telling us, or the reader of your work, what they stand for. So in this case, W equals width. And that would be one of those little things that would, if you forgot to do that, that would take you from a 5 to a 4 when I was grading. All right, B, you and 4 friends eat dinner at On the Border, everyone's favorite Mexican restaurant in Itaewon. Everyone eats the fish tacos. Write an expression for the total cost. Well, I guess, first of all, if it's you and your 4 friends, there would be 5 total people eating these glorious fish tacos. And, well, if everyone eats the fish tacos, we want the total cost. Again, we're thinking of the cost. Well, the total cost would be 5 times however much a fish taco costs. And so I'm going to say 5 times F, or 5F, and I'm going to declare F standing for fish tacos. And there we go. The cost, or the expression for the total cost is 5F. All right, well, that takes us through Lesson 3, writing expressions, both from mathematical sentences and for real-life situations.